Boy. Hi, I'm the developer behind Voice Jacket. My name is Anselmo Jarvis, and I'm going to cover a few different topics for Voice Jacket, the service itself. We're going to talk about, you know, why is it that there's a need for something like Voice Jacket or a market for voice artists to get their voices cloned. We're also going to talk about, how is it that you get paid through this service, and what are the ideal benefits or the reasons why anybody would want to sell their voice on Voice Jacket, as well as the benefits for the consumer looking for the voices to get filled for any required scripts. So let's get to it right away. And the first key thing I want to talk about is I definitely want to go ahead and address the big deal surrounding, why do we need a market for AI clone voices? So this has been something I've been sleeping on for a long time. And if you're not familiar with it, AI voices or even just AI in general, there's been a lot of different systems and different types of algorithms that can generate all sorts of different types of content in the form of text, in the form of art, and also in the form of audio, and specifically voice is what we're talking about. And the direction which this is going into is that regardless of what anyone says, I highly believe that there is no slowing down what's about to happen. But there are some things that we can get in front of, and that's how we utilize these services and make sure that some people are paid or not completely removed from the results of having these AI experiences or these AI services. Specifically, like the big topic, is AI can create art. What happens to the artist? Do they lose their job? And the same thing we can think about as far as voices. These voices are getting so great, and text-to-speech has been around for a long time, but one of the things that has kept voice artists from sweating is there's no way that sounds as good as the authentic thing. It's too robotic-y, you get what you pay for sort of thing. Well, things are changing a whole lot, especially with Voice Jacket. Voices can be cloned and even closely simulated to sound just as good or even indistinguishable from an authentic, real human voice. So the thing is that we can wait as a society or as a community until it's too late and this stuff is already blown up and became popular with consumers to go out, fetch an automated voice and get that integrated into the system, or we can get ahead of this. It's not something that's it's not comfortable, it's scary, it's new, these things are moving fast, but I wanted to develop a platform where I can find out, and it's a personal project of my own, is there some sort of way that a system can be set up where people still get paid for the amount of content that is produced from an AI system? Because regardless of what it is, AI algorithms have to learn from something. I don't believe personally that they're stealing anything, but the way algorithms work, just like a human mind works, is you receive some sort of input or you observe something and you try to re-emulate it. You try to learn from your mistakes and get better and better. And the same thing's happening with AI right now. But is there a way where we can essentially make sure that there's credit given to the source of where this knowledge learned from? Because at the end of the day, AI systems don't necessarily need to get paid per se, where that's the difference between a human. We need to get paid in order to make sure that things are sustainable in society. So with Voice Jacket, the whole goal and the picture and the idea is that you as a voice artist, or maybe a potential voice artist, or maybe you're just someone that says, hey, you know what? I wish I could become a voice artist, but my voice isn't trained for it. You can still get your voice cloned. And what's really incredible is that the AI, depending on the person, the AI can generally operate someone's own style of voice better than they could if they're not trained or excelling in that department. Just like a singer has to train their vocals. To become an excellent singer, you just don't wake up and you just start singing and say, yeah, you're naturally a singer. You have to train a lot those vocal cords. And the same thing with any type of voice artist would know, you have to train substantially, a lot. And that's where this all comes from. And that moves me into the next piece. How is it that we make sure that the voiceover artist gets paid for what they're doing? And The direction that I'm going in with this is when I thought about, it's like, hey, why don't we just, like the technology that's being used here is just pay per character. And I think that's a great way to start until things sort of evolve. So with Voice Jacket, about 0.00005, and let me say it again, 0.00005 of a dollar is being paid per character that is generated with your voice. It doesn't sound like a lot at first, and trust me, it's not supposed to be. There's not a lot of work or effort being placed into what the AI is doing for you. But it's not just about that, but the bigger picture. The larger picture is that because AI is cloning and generating voices or speech off of your voice, it's able to reach a broader spectrum of people and clients that you couldn't possibly reach as a single individual. So if we have an entire community or entire potential client base of, say, 100 people, well, 100 people using your voice in all the span of 1 week, it's more clientele than you could ever reach just doing voiceovers just exclusively by yourself. And at that point in time, because of the scale and the volume of people that you can reach, that number is justifiable in how much income can start being generated. Of course, this is going to take some time. At the very start, because this platform is new, I wouldn't expect or assume that anyone's going to think they're going to get rich overnight. But if this platform heads in the direction that we all contribute and work on it and come together to utilize, we can make sure that voiceover artists are getting paid and have some sort of sense of way of making a earning or a living in society. And we could also make sure that the amount that's paid from the consumer is reasonable, it's quick and fast, and allows those individuals to do what they need to do and produce the content that they need to produce. So the next thing I want to move across and address here on this video is, as far as Voice Jacket, is how does it help the voiceover artist? Because guess what? It's not just about getting paid. That's a great part of it, but there's a whole bunch of larger benefits to this. One of the things is that you can certainly supplement your clientele base with the voiceover cloning. For example, if you do a job and you provide a script for your client, and then 3 weeks from now they realize, oh no, there was a missed sentence, or we needed something here for this page or this part of the movie script, or we just had this small piece and they need you to re-record that or supplement just that small amount of text. You may not be available, or they may not want to pay, or there may just be a bit of a struggle there. Why not refer those small snippets and pieces to have the AI generated? Because the AI will sound authentically close to your voice, and it may not need to be a highly customized or precise level of voice work done for those small pieces that are missing outside the scope of just the initial script. So that's where the benefit can actually help your clients, so that if you're on vacation or something like that and they reach out to you a few days, you're like, whoa, you gotta wait till I get back in the office, they can fit in the cloning. There's other benefits as well. You may have clientele that do not want to pay you for what you believe that you're worth. And so at that time, you can redirect clients that are not willing to pay you your price to the AI cloning and still get a profit off those individuals. So that you're just not saying no to somebody, but you can reroute some of the potentially lost income, reroute them to the AI. The AI does all the work for you, and you'll still bring in a slow, small trickle or stream of revenue into the business that you're already operating. You work all the hard parts, and the AI will work all the small parts, and you'll start to get a much larger spectrum of income. And one of the last things that I like here is, or this overall, is just making sure that, if you need more clientele, you can upsell off of a Voice Jacket. So what I mean by that is, you may get a lot of, say for example, I'm in the indie community for game development. You may have a lot of individuals that do not have large budgets, and they may need to have voices in early development. And if they're using your AI clone voice in early development, well, guess what? when they hit full production or they're ready to produce that content or they've received larger funding, that individual can now upsell from the AI voice to a full-on blown custom voice produced by you if it's necessary. So that's an upsell. That's potentially more clientele, more money for you. So Voice Jacket's set up in a way where it benefits the voice artist in so many different ways. I don't see it, in the way that I put this entire structure together, I don't see it as any type of negative toward any voice artist in any type of way. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is how does this help the consumer? So the consumer, in so many different ways, having a script ready from the very start, this is something that I've personally ran across into problems as far as this. You're working on a project, and that project is hard to conceptualize until you get that voice in it. Rather it's some sort of movie, rather it's a commercial, it's usually a whole lot easier when you can hear, visualize, see it, what you're producing. Now, if I'm to use an AI clone voice for a low cost, I can put that voice in there, so at least I can conceptualize if this is the right person for me, or if this voice works, or even if the script even makes sense. It helps me pretty much idealize, hey, is this what I need? And then when everything looks great, I can reach out to the voice artist and say, hey, you know what, I'm ready to pay you. And if that's not necessary, continue on utilizing the automated or the AI clone speech, because guess what, at the end of the day, the artist is still reaping benefits from it and still getting paid. So it's a system in which everyone's pretty much benefiting from the service itself, instead of exclusively using AI to completely eradicate certain types of humans in this whole cycle, this whole cyclical process of doing business. So I really want Voice Jacket to blow up and expand and be a large marketplace where people can find the voices that they need, people can benefit off the work that AI does, because ultimately AI is designed to help humans create a society, a paradise-like society where we work less. And in other ways, as AI starts to develop on its own, I'm sure we can also find a way in which we work together with AI and not just use it as our slave, because years from now, we have no idea how AI is going to evolve, and if it is to become sentient, which is a discussion for later on. How are we going to live in a world where we determine if AI needs to be respected, AI needs to fit into society, or vice versa? How do we work along with it? So again, that's way out there in the future, but my name's Anselmo. I'm the developer and the single solopreneur of HGON. HGON is the name of my development company, and I am the one who's put together voicejacket.com. If you have any questions, feedback, please reach out to me. There's a lot of things that are going to change, and a lot of things that I'm expected to smooth out as far as the user experience. A lot of things are going to grow, so thank you for your patience. Thank you for taking the gamble of using a Voice Jacket. I really want to put that out there. Please go ahead and do that. Take the big jump to do this. AI is coming really fast, and not only is this an opportunity for me and the type of work that I do, I'm not going to lie there, I still truly, honestly believe that this is definitely a benefit for all the consumers that need voice scripts, and also all the voice artists that are potentially scared or may just be thinking, hey, where am I going to fit in all of this if this is something I want to continue on doing for a living? Thank you again for listening. Please check out Voice Jacket and reach out to me on Discord. I'm always available and always hanging around somewhere, and look out for more videos from me and my additional projects in the future. Take care. Bye.